I vanished after I caught my wife with another man, not because I was scared of her, not because I had nothing to say, not because I wanted her to think she had won. I vanished because, 10 minutes before I opened the bedroom door, I found the storage unit key in her jewelry box. That key told me the affair was not the plan. The affair was the celebration. My name is Ethan. I was married to Marissa for 9 years. We did not have children, which everyone later acted like made the divorce simple. People say that when they do not understand how many things two adults can build together before one of them decides to set the whole life on fire. We had a house in a quiet neighborhood outside Raleigh. We had a dog named Booker who slept like a retired old man even though he was only 5. We had a kitchen Marissa designed from Pinterest boards and a garage full of tools I bought for projects she said would make the house feel more ours. For years, I believed we were making a home. Marissa was an interior stylist. Not famous. Not rich. But good enough that wealthy women trusted her opinions about light fixtures and rugs they pretended not to care about. She had a way of making ordinary rooms feel expensive. She also had a way of making ordinary people feel like they were standing in the wrong room. At first, I liked that about her. She made me want to be sharper, dress better, notice details, stop buying the cheapest coffee table because it was fine. I thought marriage was supposed to upgrade both people. Then, in our 9th year, she started upgrading around me. New clothes I never saw her wear with me. New perfume she said was for client meetings. New late nights at staged houses. New passwords on devices she used to leave open on the couch. The first lie was small. She said she had to restyle a townhouse for a divorced client named Vivian. I asked why the appointment was at 9:30 p.m. She said, because rich people have weird schedules. That sounded possible. Possible is where most betrayal hides. The second lie came 2 weeks later. She came home with sawdust on the hem of her dress. I asked if she had been at a renovation. She looked down, laughed, and said, "You notice the weirdest things." That was not an answer. The third lie came from Booker. Our dog hated strangers. Not aggressively. He just judged them from a distance like a disappointed landlord. One Thursday, I came home early because a storm shut down my job site, and Booker did not bark when I opened the door. He was asleep beside a pair of men's boots, not mine, brown leather. Expensive. Mud dried along the sole. I stood in my own entryway, dripping rainwater onto the rug Marissa had spent 3 months choosing, staring at boots that looked comfortable in my house. Then I heard laughter upstairs. Marissa's laugh, and a man's voice saying, "He's not coming home before 6. I did something I still do not fully understand. I did not run upstairs. I did not shout. I did not grab the boots and throw them through a window. I stepped back outside, closed the door quietly, and stood under the porch while the rain hit the gutters. People imagine confrontation as bravery. Sometimes restraint is the only thing keeping your life from becoming evidence against you. I got in my truck and drove 2 blocks away. My hands were shaking so badly that I had to park in front of the house with a basketball hoop and breathe until I could see straight. Then I remembered something. The bedroom camera, not a hidden camera. 2 years earlier, Marissa had made us install a small pet camera in the bedroom because Booker had started chewing throw pillows when we left the house. She forgot about it after he stopped. I never did. I opened the app. The camera was offline. That told me more than the video would have. Someone had unplugged it, so I opened the hallway camera instead. That one faced the stairs and the guest room door. It was still online because it was mounted high near the thermostat at 3:12 p.m. Marissa walked upstairs in a white blouse I had bought her for our anniversary. At 3:14, a man followed her. His face appeared for less than 2 seconds. I knew him, Graham Ellis. real estate agent, married, expensive smile. The kind of man who slapped your shoulder after one conversation like you had been friends since college. He had sold the house across the street. He had also asked Marissa to stage 3 properties in the last 4 months. I watched him disappear into my bedroom. Then I closed the app because I already knew enough to break my own heart, but I did not know enough to protect myself. That came next. I drove to my office parking lot and sat there until 5. Then I drove home at the normal time. The boots were gone. Booker barked like he always did. Marissa was in the kitchen, barefoot, stirring sauce like we were in a commercial for forgiveness. "You're late," she said. "Storm traffic. I made pasta. Smells good." She smiled. It was the kind of smile you give someone when you are proud of how little they know. That night, I slept beside her while my body felt like it belonged to someone else. At 2:40 a.m., Marissa got up to use the bathroom. Her phone lit up on the nightstand. I did not touch it. I did not need to. The lock screen preview said, "Graham, he still has no idea. Storage by Sunday." Storage. That word hit me harder than the affair. Because affairs can be impulsive. Storage is logistics. The next morning, after Marissa left for what she called a consultation, I opened her jewelry box. I do not know why I started there. Maybe because she kept small things there that did not belong with jewelry, backup cards, old hotel keys, receipts folded into squares. Under a velvet tray, I found a silver key, plain, small, attached to a plastic tag. Unit 118, North Ridge Storage. I had never rented a storage unit. We had a garage, an attic, and a guest room closet full of things Marissa insisted we needed to keep because texture matters. I drove to North Ridge Storage on my lunch break. The woman at the desk asked for identification. I said, "I think my wife rented a unit and may have put some of my property there." She looked uncomfortable, which meant yes. She could not give me access because my name was not on the rental. But she did confirm one thing before she caught herself. Unit 118 is prepaid through next month. Prepaid by Marissa, not us, not me. That afternoon, I called my attorney friend, Ryan. Not a divorce lawyer. He handled contracts. But he knew enough to tell me what not to do. "Do not confront her alone," he said. "She's in our house with another man. Then especially do not confront her alone." What am I supposed to do? Preserve records. Secure your separate property. Do not move shared money except what you need to live. And if you leave, leave clean. Leave clean. That phrase became my plan. For the next 3 days, I acted normal. I ate dinner with Marissa. I asked about her clients. I took Booker on walks. I kiss her forehead before work because the body remembers marriage after the mind has filed for divorce. Then I gathered proof. Hallway camera clips, phone bill records, credit card charges for a hotel bar near Graham's office, a receipt for 2 wine glasses and a men's robe from a boutique home store, the storage unit key, photographed beside her jewelry box. Then, on Sunday morning, I followed her, not closely, not dramatically. Marissa left at 8:20 a.m. in yoga clothes, carrying 2 canvas bags. She drove straight to North Ridge Storage. Graham was already there. They opened Unit 118 together. From the parking lot, through my truck windshield, I watched my wife and another woman's husband unload pieces of my life. Our spare dishes, the frame print from our hallway, a box labeled Ethan Office, the old camera bag my father left me. Then Graham carried out a rolled sign, "For sale," not a random sign, the one real estate agents put in yards. That was when the shape of it finally became clear. Marissa was not only cheating, she and Graham were preparing our house to sell, piece by piece, object by object, room by room. She was removing evidence that I lived there so Graham could stage the house, sell it fast, and help her call it a clean break. I'd almost got out of the truck. Then Graham kissed her in front of the unit, and Marissa said something I could not hear, but I saw her face. She looked relieved, not guilty, relieved, like the hard part was almost over. That was when I vanished, not illegally, not recklessly, clean. I drove home before she did. I packed my documents, my father's camera, the hard drive with every house record, Booker's medication, my work laptop, and 3 days of clothes. I took Booker. I left the wedding album on the kitchen island. Under it, I left my wedding ring. Beside it, I left one printed photo. Marissa and Graham at Unit 118. No note, no threat, no speech. People who have already written your role do not deserve your monologue. By noon, I was in a long-term hotel with Booker sleeping on the carpet beside me. By 2, my attorney had referrals for divorce counsel. By 4, I had moved my direct deposit. By 6, Marissa called 18 times. I let every call go to voicemail. The first message was angry. "Ethan, where are you?" The second was annoyed. "This is childish." The third was louder. "You took the dog?" The fourth was careful. "Okay. I see what you think you saw. Call me." The fifth was the real Marissa. "Do not do anything stupid with that photo." There it was. Not "Are you okay?" Not "I'm sorry." Not "I hurt you." Do not do anything stupid with that photo. By Monday, she changed tactics. She texted, "I know you're upset, but disappearing makes you look unstable." I laughed when I read it, because she had brought another man into our bedroom, moved my belongings into a storage unit, prepared to sell our home, and somehow my absence was the unstable part. That afternoon, Graham called me from a number I did not recognize. I answered on speaker with my attorney beside me. Graham used my name like we were business partners. "Ethan, I think there has been a misunderstanding," I said. "About my wife or my office boxes." Silence. Then he said, "Marissa told me the separation was already agreed. Did she tell you I agreed to sell the house?" More silence. "Graham, that's between you two." "No." The moment your sign entered my storage unit, it became between us. He hung up. Men like Graham prefer rooms where everybody wants something from them. Documentation ruins that. For 3 weeks, I stayed gone. I did not go to the house. I did not meet Marissa. I did not answer emotional texts. Everything went through lawyers. She hated that, because Marissa's power was atmosphere. She could make a dinner feel like an interrogation. She could make a hallway feel like a courtroom. She could tilt her head and make you explain why you deserve basic respect. But email did not care about her lighting. Paperwork did not care about her perfume. A timeline did not care that she looked wounded. That is why she hunted me down. On the 23rd day, I came back to the hotel from walking Booker and saw her in the parking lot. She was standing beside my truck in a beige coat, holding the silver storage unit key, Unit 118. I stopped 15 feet away. "How did you find me?" "Your toll pass." I looked at my windshield and almost smiled. Of course, Marissa always noticed details when they served her. She lifted the key. "We need to talk about this." "No, we don't. You can't just disappear and punish me." "I disappeared after I found out you were moving my life into a storage unit." Her face tightened. "That is not what that was." "What was it?" "I was trying to make the house easier to show." There it was, the confession, dressed as staging advice. Show to who? She looked away. "We were going to sell eventually." "We? Don't do that." "Do what?" "Act like you didn't know this marriage was over." For the first time, I let myself feel anger, not loud anger, cold anger. I knew my marriage had problems. I did not know my wife had started removing my belongings so her affair partner could sell my house. She flinched at affair partner, not affair, partner, because that made Graham sound less romantic and more legally inconvenient. Graham was helping me. He was in my bedroom. "You were never home." "I came home early." That landed. She understood then that I had been there. "You saw?" "I saw the boots." Her eyes moved fast, rebuilding the past. Ethan, I shook my head. No speech. I made a mistake. You rented a storage unit. I was confused. You prepaid it. I felt trapped. You moved my father's camera bag. That one hit her harder than I expected. Maybe because she had forgotten it was my father's. Maybe because she remembered and did not care. She stepped closer. I can fix this. No. You can explain it to your lawyer. You don't have to be cruel. I looked at the key in her hand. Marissa, you kept a key to a unit full of things you stole from your own home, and you're asking me not to be cruel because I left quietly. She started crying, in public, right there beside my truck. And for one stupid second, the old reflex moved inside me. Comfort her. Lower your voice. Protect her from embarrassment. Then Booker barked from behind me, not angrily, just once, enough to remind me that the only creature in my marriage who had honestly reacted to strangers was the dog. I said, give the key to my attorney. She wiped her face. If you do this, I'll tell everyone you abandoned me. You already did. She froze. I opened my phone and played the voicemail she had left 2 days earlier by accident. Her voice filled the parking lot. If he doesn't come back by Friday, we list without him. Graham says we can make him look like he walked out. Marissa went pale. That voicemail was why I agreed to meet no one alone. That voicemail was why the storage unit mattered. That voicemail was why vanishing had saved me. She whispered, you recorded me? You called me? I didn't know it went to voicemail. I know. For the first time since the boots, I saw fear. Not fear of losing me. Fear of being understood accurately. That is a different thing. The divorce took 7 months. Graham disappeared from the story as soon as subpoenas appeared. His wife found out from someone else, not me, though I will admit I did not lose sleep over it. Marissa tried to claim I abandoned the marriage. The hotel receipts, attorney emails, camera clips, storage unit photos, an accidental voicemail made that argument very short. She tried to claim the unit held decluttered household items. Then my attorney asked why my personal documents, my father's camera bag, and Graham's sales sign were in it. She tried to cry in mediation. The mediator handed her tissues and asked her to answer the question. That was when I knew the performance was over. I kept the house for a while, then sold it on my own timeline with an agent who had never been in my bedroom. I kept Booker. I got my father's camera back. The storage unit key stayed on my desk for almost a year, not because I missed her, because it reminded me that betrayal is really just the moment you catch. It is the receipts before it, the logistics around it, the friends who almost knew, the rooms already empty, the version of you they prepared to sell along with the house. Then one morning, I threw the key into a river, not dramatically. I was walking Booker, and the water was right there, and I was tired of keeping a monument of someone else's plan. It made a tiny sound. That was all. 9 years ended with a tiny sound. I thought it would feel bigger, but peace is often quiet because it no longer needs witnesses. If you ever find the key before you find the truth, pay attention. The key may open more than a door. It may open the part of your life where you finally stop explaining yourself to someone who is already packing you away.